Everyone says you can't compost in winter, or that you have to keep it steaming to win. The truth? Neither's right. And what really happens inside that frozen pile will surprise you. Every winter, garden channels flood the internet with steaming compost in the snow videos, as if that's the goal. But the real secret to winter composting isn't endless nitrogen, turning, or chasing heat. It's understanding what's actually happening inside the pile. Microbes don't vanish when it freezes. They slow down, conserve energy, and wait for the thaw. And if you play along instead of fighting it, you'll have a compost pile that wakes up weeks ahead of everyone else's. Forget the hype. This is what really happens when the snow falls on your compost. Every winter, YouTube fills up with proud composters showing off steaming piles in the snow, as if the secret to success is endless nitrogen dumps. They're not lying. You can keep a pile hot all winter if you've got a steady supply of kitchen scraps, manure, and time to babysit it. But that's not normal composting. That's a part-time job. Here's the truth. Most piles don't die when the temperature drops. They slow down. The microbes go dormant, waiting for the thaw. The outside freezes, acting like insulation. The core holds just enough warmth to keep life ticking, not blazing hot, but not dead either. Dumping bucket after bucket of green material might spark heat for a few days, but it burns out fast and leaves you with a soggy, stinking mess. Turning it every week? Even worse. You vent what little heat you had left. Real winter composting is about preserving that core, not chasing steam. Keep it damp, cover it, and let nature idle until spring. Because the best winter compost piles don't look dramatic. They look asleep. And that's exactly what keeps them alive. How to keep it alive without babying it. If your compost pile could talk in winter, it wouldn't ask for attention. It'd ask for a blanket and some peace and quiet. Keeping it alive through the cold isn't about cramming in nitrogen every week. It's about protecting what's already working. Start with size. A pile smaller than 3 by 3 by 3 feet can't trap its own heat. Go bigger, and you'll have a warm core, even when the top crust freezes solid. Next, insulation. Forget fancy bins and electric gadgets. Wrap the pile with straw bales, old leaves, or even a retired tarp. That frozen shell on the outside? Don't break it. It's your natural heat seal. Moisture matters too. Frozen solid means the microbes are locked in stasis. Waterlogged means they suffocate. Aim for wrung-out sponge dampness before the first hard freeze. Then leave it alone. When you add scraps, bury them deep in the middle. The outer layer can freeze and thaw all it wants. The inner core is where the real work happens. And here's a trick the nitrogen addicts never mention: thermal mass. If a deep freeze hits, tuck a few sealed jugs of hot water in the pile overnight. It's the compost version of a hot water bottle. A little boost that doesn't blow the whole system out of balance. Winter composting isn't about nursing your pile. It's about giving it the conditions to sleep well, so it wakes up hungry in spring. What to expect in spring? When the first real thaw hits, most gardeners run out to start fresh. But if you've kept your winter compost pile alive, you're already weeks ahead. As the ice melts and that top crust softens, the microbes come roaring back to life. What looked like frozen, dead debris suddenly start sinking, steaming, and breathing again. You'll smell that unmistakable earthy scent, not rot, but rebirth. This is when the magic happens fast, because all winter long, the pile's chemistry has been building momentum. Frozen scraps didn't disappear. They preserved their nitrogen. Now it's released in one big microbial feast. In just a few warm weeks, the pile that looked half-rotted turns into something dark, crumbly, and alive. And while everyone else is raking leaves and begging their compost to get going, yours already is. That jumpstart means richer compost by early summer. Enough to top-dress beds, feed seedlings, or rebuild tired soil before planting season even peaks. So, no, winter composting isn't about keeping it hot. It's about setting the stage. Because when spring arrives, your pile doesn't need to begin. It just needs to wake up. Winter composting isn't a test of endurance. You don't win by keeping it hot all season. You win by keeping it alive. When you understand that balance between stillness and survival, you realize nature never really stops. It just slows down long enough for us to catch up. So the next time you lift that lid and see frost on top, don't panic. That's insulation, not failure. Beneath it, your pile is waiting. Not dead, not frozen, just patient.